The stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland.
Welcome. It is that time of the week. Time for your market analysis and everything you need to know and mentally prepare for in the stock market. Last week we had an awesome week. Here's a little bit of narrative, a little bit of what to look for, and a few ideas. Do know that I will be on Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday I might have to leave early because I gotta get my surgery. I don't know if I'll be on for Wednesday. My wife will probably be pissed if I'm on. If I can get out of the bed without hurting myself, I'll be on at some point. I have no idea if it'll what it'll be like, so bear with me. But towards the end of the week, I hope I'll be on. But we got plenty of absolutely awesome traders to help anyone new in the chat. Nevertheless, you know who they are. Big sell on Thursday. Now let's talk about this a little bit, okay? We got indulge in the narrative here for a few minutes so you get the big picture, because at this point in time, if you're trading, you have probably woken up to the fact that everything from history books to the people who run the world are not looking out for you, okay? Which is why you trade, because you know that the stock market will be here and you want to get yours, okay? After a big sell like this, we consolidated on Friday. Okay, now, meanwhile, over here, shit was hitting the fan. Okay, let's go over to SLB. This is even better. Mainstream media wants you to think that this was because the new head of the Fed. Okay, now, why would Trump choose this hawk? QE will not be happening, in my opinion. Doesn't mean he can't cut rates. And going back and reviewing lower rates, yes, that has been advertised. Lower rates without QE, market goes lower. Way fucking lower. Has nothing to do with what happened with silver. I posted it in the Full Moon Circle, what happened with silver. That was JPM. So what happened with silver is this here, JPM. They started selling at the highs and came in at the low. Completely controlled sell, okay? You can see that right here. Unlike indices, I mean, this should have triggered some type of halt. It did not, due to a definition when it comes to precious metals, even though they are there, that was circumvented. Okay, why is this happening? Well, I'm not gonna do an episode on the PDF files. Has to do with that, and those have to do with everything, because every person in a power position is compromised. The game is taken to the next level for younger people coming up in the ranks. I would draw a parallel to a big event in September back in the day. I mean, we're talking the same magnitude here, so big moves. You're seeing over here, this can be put under the definition of, oh, wash is not so positive for crypto. You can also find the headlines that wash is positive for crypto. Does not fucking matter one bit. I think this sell somebody ran the new batch of files through AI. Obviously, all of those include the creators of this, and the big players also mentioned, like Mr. Sailor, yada yada yada. This is no surprise to anyone. There's a reason I call this digital dog shit, because at least dog shit does something. I also want to now draw your attention to October the 6th. Remember, Dom and I posted the same fucking thing. Okay, said that was the fucking top. Remember that? Called the top. What I also think this dip here has to do with is due to this crypto meeting. I'll tie this together with this in just a sec. Bear with me. That's why you're here. That crypto vote should have happened 3 times already, just like the Supreme Court should have happened 3 times already. It has not. It is now scheduled for Monday. Brian, let us know. If you know already that Bitcoin's going to the moon, what's a better time than to load it over the weekend? Just saying. With silver, bear ETF 2 times 4x moving from $400 to $120, you think they made some fucking money? Yes. More money on these 2 biggest trades of all time was generated than who the fuck knows in how much time. Okay? Crazy. What does this signify? Price in silver? No, not really. This signifies that if you aren't 90% cash at all times, you deserve to get fucked. So don't get fucked, because I don't think you deserve to get fucked. This is a warning shot. Doing this to silver means that you can easily, if you can fucking control it this much with a few pushes of buttons and do that and that with that amount of money, you can do it to anything, including this. Because this, I mean, what the fuck is this even? I think it's a travesty that I'm just gonna show you. I think it's a fucking travesty that when I'm buying here during this period, every goddamn fucking Bengay smelling PDF file working politician in Washington DC is saying that I'm a fucking scumbag because of the ticker. But you mean to fucking tell me that these same fucking people want to sell it to me here? Talk about fucking pulling the rug under your feet, spreading your cheeks, and giving you fucking carpet burn. Motherfuckers. Okay? What does Bitcoin signify? What is it to me? It's just a fucking chart. Whatever this indicator does makes this stock move. Okay? Does it make any fucking difference to me if I'm trading it here or if I'm trading it back in the day when BlackRock took a stake and I caught, it was right here, when I caught this candle? Dude, fucking turned a few hundo into $17,000 overnight. Does the price matter to me? No, doesn't matter to me. Does the price of SPY matter to me? No, it fucking doesn't. I don't care if SPY trades at 400 or 800. What I care about is buying 20-cent 1DTE contracts here and selling them 30 minutes later here for 100%. Do I care what SNDK does? No. If I see a chance to get 1100%, do you know what the fuck my strike was? 720. Had I known that it was gonna hit that big, I would have even loaded up more. Did I catch the epic gap fill fade? No, because I was trading other shit. The point is, you can trade any chart, doesn't matter what fucking ticker it is, if you know its personality. Tesla, Friday. Do I touch Tesla intra-week? No. We saw this, okay, there's interest, faded back down here, holding levels. Okay, of course we're gonna take it. Then we're gonna scalp it again. Then we know it's not going anymore. So we don't touch it anymore until in a week. JPM, we know what it does on Fridays, because that's what it does. It's its personality. Tried here, okay, now it's holding. Boom, 275%. It did its thing. Okay, other stuff outside of SPY or SPX or the tickers that we do play are speculative plays, right? Now we know. What else did we learn? We sat here watching when they were hitting Monday Apple. Okay, well, why were they hitting Monday Apple? Because now these Mag 7s have 3 expirations per week. Okay, that threw me off a few times this week in the thick of things when we were down in the foxhole. But like, I see a bunch of Apple flow, I'm thinking, you know, in the heat of the moment, next Friday. No. They were hitting Monday because they just pumped and dumped it. These fucking contracts moved huge. Okay, something to look forward to, right? Once we master it, we add it to our bag of tricks or discipline, whatever, what have you, right? So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can determine that there's a big fucking rotation going on again. Why did we go sideways after this big dump? Bears are waiting on follow through. I bought the dip right there. Okay, caught that move, also caught that move. So Monday, and listen to me right now, because if I'm not around all week, Monday has the early high. Bears will be looking to undercut this low for confirmation to the downside. Usually you gap outside the range. This is a Larry Williams situation. You have a big sell, you got an inside candle. Usually these move up. Right now, with all the PDF files that Adobe's printer in Washington DC to put out, I'm not too sure. That means a early high failure leads to more of this, and you can get follow through on Monday down to these levels here. If that happens, that is probably the sell. Okay, why? Because the VIX is elevated and the VIX 1D is elevated, and they will spike through their Bollinger Bands. Where does that put you? And this is option A. If we sell on Monday and start holding on Tuesday, you fucking buy calls from end of day or midday Tuesday that you sell on Thursday for a Thursday premium high. If we do this pattern this week, it will repeat next week, but it will be smaller. So Monday early high, Tuesday early low, Wednesday early low, Thursday early high, Friday early low. And if you watched this far, the new February fractal agrees, which means Monday probably a down day barring news. Tuesday, Wednesday you go up. You sell most of your shit end of day Wednesday. You can take long puts, but you'll probably not make more money unless you wait until next week. There's going to be a big sell here. Obviously, these files being released and us not attacking Iran raises questions. The new Fed and the family he comes from raises questions. He's on the board of this, okay? If you wanna, fuck around and see if there's light on the other side of the tunnel. He's also married into this brand, and if you look at March 20 calls, you can see for yourself once you start investigating. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I am probably going to just add this to the chart and see what is cooking and keep an eye on it, because I know it's got mispriced premiums. Can it go higher? Yes, it can. If your wife's dad's company used to trade up there and you get a roll in the Fed and nobody's ever fucking given a fuck, this probably goes higher. Okay, just saying. So yeah, just some crumbs to throw in. Nvidia, every time it's done this, it has not been good news. Okay, what is that? That is the daily 9 and that is the 50. And every time it has crossed over, it's not been good news for Nvidia. Here's an example. Here's an example. There's an example. There's a pretty fucking drastic example. Okay, something to keep in mind as far as a warning sign. If this suddenly rips on Monday, we had the same setup last weekend. It was fucking hyper bearish, but we went higher, remember? Okay, Apple, clearly a contestant here, has these earnings weeks that it will go and touch. Apple strength means Nvidia weakness. Meta, pretty much unplayable for a long time after this earnings move that we also caught. So I played the 7/10s on earnings. Why did I do that? Because of that. Am I still crying that I sold my 6/10s here? Yes, but at least I caught the move. Anytime you got, for any new people, Bollinger Bands, you should have them on. Okay, Bollinger Bands, free indicator. There you go, BB. All right, right. Anytime you see, it doesn't matter if it's the 5 minute, I showed you on SPY right here, pierces the Bollinger Band, pierces the Bollinger Band. That's a Bollinger move, right? Same thing works on the daily chart, right? It pierces the Bollinger Band. Now this has to come up, but it's gonna go at least gap fill this fucker. So like, if you want to swing long puts, sure, because we're gonna have some weakness coming up. Is it absolutely written? No, but again, and you can screenshot, this is a really good depiction of the market we're trading. Watch the red stuff. That's a midterm year. That's a midterm year. That's a midterm year. That's a midterm year. Midterm year. All of them midterm years, right? Okay, what do they have in common? fucking huge volatility. What does huge volatility mean? Huge volatility means that the VIX trades in a higher range. What does that mean? That means that the option premiums, meaning the prices of any option contracts, are going to be inflated, okay, due to higher risk, which means you're gonna become a better trader. Why? Because you'll learn to pick your fucking spots and not trade the middle shit and really play the extremes. That's what you gotta do. Okay? There's no fucking around it. Right? Why would you buy anything right there? There's no reason to buy anything right here. Is there a reason to buy something here? Yes, hammer candle outside tries to stop you out, right? See right there? Boom, then rips. Same thing, pierces the Bollinger Band, hammer candle goes. Does it always work? No, but it increases your chances by at least an estimated fucking 75% right now, okay? So, what to look for end of day? If the VIX high is really fucking elevated, the VIX 1D, chances of a gap up on SPY. If it's low, chances of flat or a gap down. Okay? I like to take those chances if shit lines up. Something else that is not talked about in the headlines now after everything that's going on is the dollar. Here you have the dollar daily backtest of the 9. If it can't get over the 9 and all these MAs, it will go further down and it will push the market higher against all odds mechanically. Okay? Something to keep in mind. If shit seems funky, there's usually a culprit somewhere. But again, weekly hammer candle pierce at the Bollinger Band, weekly wins over daily, which means look at that setup. If this was a 5-minute SPY chart, I'd be buying calls. See what I'm saying? So you gotta really, again, remember, be honest with yourself. If you're honest with yourself, you probably shouldn't take the trade. Why? Because you've already hesitated. Trading options is all about fucking being so in the zone that you just trade on gut feeling, right? As soon as you start wondering about confirmation, you shouldn't take the trade, because you didn't take the trade because your hesitation is self-protection, right? So don't feel bad if you're hesitating. It just means that you're protecting yourself from not getting fucked. If you're in this, and I showed last week on the video, right, in one of the recaps, where I hesitated where I shouldn't have. Okay, did I miss the move? Yeah, I missed the move. Where was it? I think it was here. So we've pierced the Bollinger, right? Okay, we're at these yesterday levels. Why didn't I take it? I don't know, but I didn't. But I missed the move. Okay, next. You also got to be a really good loser, right? If you're losing on a trade is gonna send you down some fucking depression spiral, then you should probably size down and you should play the extremities even more, or not even trade until you feel like you're in the zone. It requires a lot of brain power to trade. You're dealing with probabilities that don't always pan out, but if you have a system that works, you're winning. That doesn't mean that you can't get screwed, but that's why 90% cash is critical, because with 90% cash, you're not gonna tilt. You can come back the next day, and option trading is first and foremost about survival, right? New traders come and go all the time. Being honest with yourself, it's easier to take a bunch of positions. Everybody always wants to talk about entry. What about exit? Okay, great. You fucking bought calls right there. If you didn't sell them right there, then fuck you. Exit. Without this Bollinger Band here, right here you're telling yourself, what if it can go higher? Right? Your mind is like, but bro, this could be the one. This could make me fucking super rich. Okay, well, so now you hold and it goes back on you. Now you lost the profits. Now you're fucking averaging in, hoping that it goes again. Instead of selling there, then you can fucking scalp or you can write it down the whole way. Classic short the pop. Right? Do I short the pop? No. I see when it picks up steam, puts in a fucking hammer and trade and scalp the bounce. That's just my style. How do I determine that? Based on the stow. Okay? MU. I was also in MU, not just SNDK, because I knew it would move on sympathy. So hit those 450s in the money, right? Now again, I'm not going to sit here and call out a bunch of earnings plays just because I nailed SNDK and this sympathy play and meta. Traders who have survived know that fucking earnings moves can go whichever way. Which brings me to this fucker. Obviously, the new head of the Fed is good buddies with the CEO of this particular company. Okay? And he's probably going to use them to run a bunch of shit through. Now, this is a weekly chart. If this was SPY 5 minute, would you short it or would you buy calls? If this was a SPY 5 minute candle chart and you were scalping it, would you buy calls or puts? If you're a safe trader, you wait to see if it sells down here and you buy calls here. Okay, so let's put an alert there. If Monday isn't super gross and this kind of holds around here, I'm inclined to try a Bollinger to Bollinger bounce because this has earnings on Tuesday. And then I'm looking at my fucking fractal. It's already undercut the daily 200. So now I'm Mr. Chartist. Okay, now go and see when was it last time at the 200. Oh fuck me, when Palantir was 21 bucks. Okay, so you mean to tell me that you have gone all this time from, it's not even that long ago. You mean to tell me you've gone from fucking August, from the carry trade, you've gone all this time without testing your daily 200 until now. Okay, solid, right? So if earnings then can bring me back into this half moon, you would think there's a move here. Okay, something to ponder. As far as these crypto names, I am not in Coinbase. I have my starter here yet again, have not added to it. Obviously something is cooking here. Bitcoin being shit over the weekend doesn't help. Sailor being in his fucking files doesn't help. Whatever, okay? Based on the chart itself, consolidation, head and shoulders, fake breakout, consolidation. With the history of a fake breakout, you could almost say, is this a fake breakdown here? Back to consolidation, which leads to then more upside. With the crypto bill, anything is possible. It is very volatile, close to highs. Oversold conditions do not mean that a bounce is guaranteed to happen. Oversold conditions close to highs means that the late bloomers to the party, I'm sure most of you have seen Elon emailing good old Jeff, when's the next party, when's your next crazy party, can I come. So I personally won't be trading Tesla next week off the bat, but oversold conditions could also mean that the top is in and you're gonna sell here, or at least minimum be volatile. So if with the Namo, if we don't bounce on Monday in the market again, that means after Monday sell and maybe slow bleed Tuesday a little bit, this will be oversold and it is ready for a bounce that the fractal is showing. And I don't think that people are yet that bearish. I think big money is moving around, which it is. We have confirmation of that. We know we have currency intervention. We see that from the chart as well as the dollar. We know Trump needs this at 55, not 65 at some point. Okay. HSI will tell us a lot. I assume we're gonna go gap fill here, but even a gap fill here still holds these two MAs, right? Which brings us to BABA again. Let's check the chart. Premiums say that end of February, mid-February, it's supposed to fucking rip. Okay, cool. I would not be surprised if it goes down here to this volume shelf. Actually pretty bullish if it doesn't hold, because cup pullback handle. Okay, let's look at the daily 21 here and this 89. What did BABA do last time they crossed? Cross here, chops around for a week or so, and then fucking rips. Okay, cool. What did it do here? Straight send it, right? From right here. So it is overall a bullish signal. Same thing here. Crossed, chopped around, then send it. I am anticipating that this fucking sends mid-February big time. Just because we're bearish overall today over crypto does not mean that China with its new trade deals isn't going to be bullish, especially if they're gonna pour on the shit show sauce in America, which they clearly are. So when the fear is high and we got the crypto president in, and this shit happens, and I'm looking at coin and it's like, okay, well, are you gonna go back to 142 here, or are you going to slingshot up soon? I'm thinking maybe a bounce soon. Then we gotta watch for where the money goes. China is obvious, okay? These fucking names, I mean, you already have a Bollinger Pierce there, so like either Iran's gotta get attacked soon, but that's only a pop, you know what I mean? So AI, is SMCI gonna smash earnings? You have a bunch of these names again that might not be the obvious choice, but that are gonna get played absolutely over and over and over again this week. Okay, so again, all about where does the money go. And Palantir is a big deal, NXPI is a big deal, AMD is a big deal, SMCI is a big deal too, right? ARM is a big deal, Qualcomm, Google is a fucking huge deal. Now with Google and Amazon reporting earnings, I would think Amazon beats. There is no what's the difference between Amazon here and here? Well, here it's over the Bollinger Band post earnings. It can do that. does Google and Amazon beat both and both go up? Well, let's recap. The money from Microsoft went where? This was down 11% and whoop, like that, Meta was up 11%. We know Meta will fade. That means that Microsoft will go up. So, what is Microsoft doing? It's either defending this earnings gap or it's going to go down and fill it, and that's where you're gonna buy it if it fades. So that's 101. That takes out both. Okay, we got one loss move, and even though this beat earnings, I'm talking about the move here. So one down, one up. Apple ID flush beat but was flat. Okay? Tesla down but recovered. Okay, doesn't help us. So both of these in that manner could move up. Just saying. Am I gonna play any of this other shit? Probably not. I don't know if a firm's gonna be good. All of these are gonna be moving big. All I'm interested in is seeing Monday's pattern. If it's a sell, I know that end of day Tuesday, if we stop, I am going to be buying calls that I sell end of day Wednesday. Okay. If we pop and we don't go and close this gap, or if that is all we get, it's time to buy puts. Okay? Then we see how the market moves and we react accordingly. I've shown you the midterm volatility chart. I've shown you the fractal that has not been like the greatest, but it's a good ballpark. And as a reminder, we do not know yet if this plays. We could get any type of news to rip us higher, or if that's already played out and it's time to chop before a fake breakout. Both of these, the sports calendar, support that narrative of a push, but that could be early or mid this week. But then you see cha-cha-cha, boom, boom, down. Okay, both of those support that. NASDAQ does not support that. NASDAQ says, no, fucker, we're gonna fade for 2 weeks. This is why this week is very instrumental. Does it follow one of these seasonal charts, or does it follow this? And when we catch on to that, we can determine direction a little bit clearer. Until then, scalp actions. I mean, we're not the type of traders to sit in SPY more than a day or two, because we know it's like open and close and some intraday scalps. I mean, for us to start picking fucking long stock positions, we at least need the indice to like start breaching some serious levels. And once it starts selling, after all these fake tries, it is gonna go to the daily 200. A week ago we were here. I said this at least needs to make it to like 650 to here until the sell is on. Same time, you got this curling down the daily stow. You should take that serious. You shouldn't be buying upside. You got two choices. It either turns around midway or it goes and bottoms out. That's what it's your job to look out for that. I am 90% cash, waiting eagerly to make a lot of money on Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully this was informative. As far as the calendar this week, to help you make better choices, let's quickly, before we wrap up and look at the gamma. Look, we got ISM PMI. Now the PPI was red hot. You probably get a new news narrative this week. Tuesday, Jolts, that's gonna be a big mover. Wednesday, you have the Europeans and their numbers should be pretty decent, I imagine. Then you have ADP on Wednesday, you have ISM Services PMI. We got Fed speakers, we got Bank of England, we got ECB. They're gonna hold their rate same. Wednesday, blah 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 blah. I don't know what Trump has in order. Then you got NFP on Friday. This is gonna be a huge mover. Okay, huge. As far as Gamma, let's quickly go through. It's usually really good. Monday, if you sell 687 is a possible bottom. Under that you start breaching levels and you can fucking absolutely waterfall down to there. If the move is up, you probably go close the gap I showed you, and it's 696. Okay, is max. Tuesday, biggest gex is 695 if you're still trading in this range. Otherwise you're gonna be trading in this range. Wednesday still has this here, has that too, no big difference, the same range. Thursday looks like we're not fucking trading upside, we're probably already moved. And Friday, 7,000, could we do it? I mean, you can. That is the pain trade. Or you're going to the gap. What gap is that? The fucking gap. Come on. Don't fail me now, TradingView. It's like, but sir, all your cookies are stuffing me up. Yeah, I know. What gap? Hold on. Oh, I can't even change the session. Anyways, you guys know that there's a fucking gap here, right? Okay, good. Now you know. So that's on the table. Okay? Big shit, big moves. You're either gonna go there this week or you're gonna go there. Make your money in between. Okay? And we've also seen this overnight volatility pick up big time. I mean, these are not some small moves we're getting. We're getting huge swings. Right? Massive. Be careful out there. I hope I can trade as much as possible with you guys. I'll obviously be on Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to aim to try to make all my money those days. I know I'm gonna be going into surgery in a swing position, and hopefully it's gonna be great. All right, so again, the Bitcoin thing and weekend Wall Street and all of that, I mean, what if this is back up here Tuesday or on Monday? We don't know that. We'll keep an eye out for it. All right, God bless and see you on the moon train.